So it all boils down to this, folks. Free your mind, and you are free. And I'm not joking. I'm very serious with every single word I just said. Here in America, we have one value that totally eclipses every other single value we have. Beyond equality, beyond equal opportunity, beyond respect, beyond nonviolence, beyond good-heartedness, generosity, and all that stuff. And I think those are all characteristic of what I know Americans to fundamentally be. But there's one value that if you say this word in any stadium in this country, far beyond the applause of the performer, far beyond the applause of the city, far beyond the applause of the team, you will hear a roar that will not match anything that came before it. And that word, of course, is freedom, isn't it? We all know that. I didn't even need to say it, you already knew it, didn't you? We truly, truly value that. That's at the core of our beings, of our souls, of our being Americans, you might say. And maybe even goes broader than that, a few other people on this planet. But nobody quite tells you, how do you do that? In fact, how do you be free of your own mind? That's a neat trick, isn't it? How do you do it? Well, now that I've got your attention, in the East they call this the monkey mind. It's very impulsive, very young, unpredictable, kind of wild, right? Jumping around in various directions, right? Happy to divert this direction and then go that direction, and you don't know if you're coming or going. You really don't, because it's whatever way the mind is leading you at that moment. And so, undoubtedly, the greatest trick the mind plays on us, or the ego plays on us, is being so under the radar, so in 1,000, 100,000 different disguises that we don't even see it, do we? Isn't that amazing? We don't even see it. How are we going to address anything we don't even see? Good luck. So how do we see what's unseen? How do we see those illusions? Because the moment we see them, they dissolve, don't they? And all that remains is reality, our true lives, our true selves, the original nature, you can call it. I call it the authentic, liberated self. So instead of being driven by its fears, because it's very big on fear, isn't it? And by all its need to control, and all its agending and pushing you with time, and feeding feeling states and turning them into moods and then emotional states, right? And acting that stuff out. The mind's very good at doing all that. Give it a lot of attention, a lot of energy, a lot of negativity, a lot of judgmental thoughts, and off you go to the races, right? Hello. Here are 5 things you can do immediately, today, the moment you walk out of this room, today, that'll help you see through illusions and have a life you can call your own. And I'm not joking, this is serious. These are the 5 most valuable ways I've found. Now, since the mind deals with thoughts, like it's going out of style, we have to start with thoughts, do we not? So when thoughts arise, and we get hooked and we get just sort of swept away, don't we? And it happens all the time, and so quickly. It's like, what happened? A very common experience, isn't it? With all of us. I don't think there's any exception that I know of. There's an ancient metaphor that really helps here. What if you see that thought that arises? And by the way, do you have any control of that thought arising? Any at all? None. 0. Isn't that shocking? 0. But what you do with it, how you handle that, well, that's up to you in many respects, isn't it?
Turn it around.
I'm sorry?
I turn it around.
Tell me how you turn it around.
Well, I just had a birthday and I turned 69 and I was feeling really
Congratulations.
old. I mean, you know, older. Not older, but older.
I just turned 59, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so I'm thinking, you know, all these thoughts, gee, you know, negative. Yeah, I was really thinking.
You're thinking a lot of negative thoughts.
Negative thoughts.
You just turned 69, your birthday, feeling old.
Yeah. And then I got in my car and I just started thinking, are you feeling? You have a beautiful car. Nice.
You got in your car, you're saying, what am I doing? I have a beautiful car, I have a beautiful
Yeah.
home life.
And a couple of daughters and
There you go.
And it
And all that changed was your perception. A shift in perception. And it changed everything, didn't it? It's amazing. And you know you have almost 100% control of where you place your attention. You changed where you placed your attention. And it made a world of difference, didn't it? Night and day. From being down in the dumps and throwaway and useless and God knows what, to actually being fairly elated and happy, it sounds like. Yes. Well, there you go. So when thoughts arise, folks, and they happen all the time and it's not under your control, think of it as or picture it better, picture it, see it as clouds. So on the horizon, a cloud arises, right? A thought, right? And if you just sort of say, yeah, there's a thought, there's a passing cloud, and you put your attention somewhere else, you know what happens to that cloud? It's gone, it dissipates, there's nothing there. Now if you feed it, well, I don't need to tell you about how dark the sky gets, and of course it monsoons, hails, snows right on top of you, right? Flood, everything. You name it, hurricanes, tornadoes, the works. Well, you could be around a lot of people, but you'll be the eye of the hurricane. You'll be the point of sanity and calmness, won't you? So that's one very powerful way to let thoughts come and let them go. And no need to feed thoughts, no need to obsess on them, no need to give them anything more than they're worth, which is essentially, what's the word now? Nothing. Nothing. What happens to a fire if you starve it of all fuel and logs and also starve it of all oxygen? What happens to that fire? It goes out, undeniably and without exception. Isn't that amazing? You have the power to put this fire out. It's in your hands. Nobody else's. Isn't that wonderful news?